Ethan posted on Facebook, showing a woman with a slightly protruding belly encircled by an arm, captioned, "The two most important treasures in the world are in my arms right now." If it were the old me, I would have hysterically gone to confront him. But now, I calmly liked the post and commented, "Wishing you longevity." The next second after sending the comment, Ethan called. "Irene, what do you mean?" I replied indifferently. It seems Ethan is so thrilled about becoming a dad that he can't understand human speech or read words. "Irene, what are you saying?" "I told you, it was just a joke, she's my most important business partner right now." "Why don't you believe me?" "There's no such ambiguous business partner. You know what your relationship with her is." I sighed softly, "Ethan, I'm tired. I don't want to deal with your messes anymore, and I don't want to love you anymore." There was silence on the other end for a long while before a voice came. "Irene, you can't leave me. We've been together since high school, we've overcome so many difficulties and shared so much sweetness, you can't let go. Besides, you've been a full-time housewife for so many years, where would you go if we divorced? Would your parents be willing to give up a golden son-in-law like me?" Ethan spoke with absolute confidence, his assured tone making me feel that all my compromises and madness over the years were a joke. It turned out my beloved had died unknowingly long ago, replaced by a cunning and arrogant villain. The last trace of reluctance in my heart was shattered by Ethan's words. "You're not worthy to talk about the past with me. I've already signed the divorce agreement, let's end it like this." With that, I hung up the phone with a snap. From school uniforms to wedding dresses, I've seen all sides of Ethan. We once vowed eternal love at the summit of a snow mountain, but ironically, this relationship still ended in tragedy. After hanging up, I started packing my things. When Ethan and I earned our first pot of gold, we bought this house. On the day we moved in, Ethan held me and spun around the living room several times, excitedly saying, "Irene, we finally have our own home. Irene, we'll be together forever, I'll give you a better life." At that time, Ethan's expression was exuberant, his eyes full of love for me. But now, whenever I think of him back then, I only feel heartache. This house holds so many beautiful memories. After marriage, to better support Ethan, I gradually transitioned into a homemaker, allowing him to focus on his career without worries. I don't know from which day it started, but Ethan began to change. I sighed again and shook my head, what was I still thinking about? Quickly packing up and leaving these troubles behind was the best choice. I gathered all the photos of Ethan and me, throwing them one by one into the shredder, watching them turn into scraps, feeling no ripples in my heart, even a bit of satisfaction. Then, I found all the love letters and notes Ethan had written to me since high school, lighting them on fire one by one. The flames greedily consumed them. The paper first blackened, then reddened, finally turning to ashes. After thoroughly destroying all items carrying shared memories of Ethan and me over the years, I picked up my suitcase and left. I arrived in a small town, rented a courtyard, planning to grow flowers and relax. The weather was perfect, with warm sunlight spilling over the earth, everything was so bright and warm. I moved a rocking chair to the courtyard, playing on my phone while rocking. I almost fell asleep from the comfort, and at the same time, I regretted entangling with Ethan for so long, wasting so much beautiful time. "Irene, where have you gone? I warn you, stop these little tricks. Get back here now." Ethan's messages suddenly appeared. I frowned, suddenly feeling disgusted, as if I'd been force-fed excrement, all my good mood turned nauseating. "Has the agreement been signed? Calling me back to divide the property? Irene. What are you doing, playing disappearance at this age? I'm taking the initiative to find you, so be smart and come down the steps, otherwise, you'll be the one regretting." Ethan's condescending tone made me uncomfortable. Today I finally understand that different species can't communicate. Sign the agreement, divide the property clearly, otherwise, my lawyer will come for you. After sending this, I blocked all of Ethan's contact methods. At the moment of blocking, I finally vented some anger. All these years, I've given him too much face, I even regret not participating in the company's core. My abilities are no worse than his. Without me, Ethan's company wouldn't have grown to today's scale so quickly. Over there, when Ethan discovered I'd blocked him on every contact method, he suddenly felt panicked, as if he'd truly lost something important by his own hand. Suddenly, he angrily smashed his phone against the wall. Finally, the phone shattered into pieces on the ground, the noise startling everyone present. "Ethan, what are you doing? You startled Chloe, she's pregnant." "Irene, she blocked me." Ethan was furious. The people present looked at each other. Finally, one woman disdainfully said, "Irene? What is that sallow-faced hag fussing about again? That lunatic clings to Ethan every day, acting like she can't live without him. Blocking you is just to get your attention. God knows how much Chloe has suffered because of her." Upon hearing "can't live without Ethan," Ethan felt a bit better, his slightly relaxed expression noticed by the others. They rolled their eyes and continued along the first woman's words. "Yeah. Irene has done similar things before, Ethan, I'd say she's just seeking attention." "Right, anyone in the world might abandon you, but not Irene." "Exactly. It's her shameless trick to attract you." The crowd chattered, their faces full of disdainful smiles toward me. But so what? Ethan still loves our Chloe the most. Ethan indeed found security in these words, feeling his earlier panic was an illusion. "Yeah. Could Irene leave me?" "No. I think Ethan should really give Irene the cold shoulder this time, who let her be so unreasonable." "Perfect, Chloe needs a prenatal checkup, right? Ethan, go with her." The group burst into laughter again, the anger returning to calm. Ethan nodded, looking at his lover with tender eyes. "Chloe, I'll go with you for the checkup to see our child." The woman shyly nodded, "As long as Ethan has me in his heart, I wouldn't dare trouble you." Her dependent gaze inflated Ethan's machismo. "You're my beloved woman, carrying my child, how could it be trouble?" He pulled her into his arms. The surroundings immediately erupted in cheers. What a talented man and beautiful woman, a match made in heaven. Ethan was originally laughing too, but suddenly remembered many years ago, when he successfully proposed to Irene, friends said the same. He suddenly became irritable again, that uncontrollable panic flooding his heart once more. I had been in the town for a week, starting to familiarize myself with it and the neighbors. The courtyard I rented had the barbecue shop manager Nina's home on the right and the flower shop manager Lucas's home on the left. Nina was a fiery and passionate woman. After becoming friends, she gradually learned about my past. She immediately slammed the table in anger. "This man is too shameless. Changing after so many years of relationship. And saying you can't leave him, bah. Too full of himself." On the side, Lucas furrowed his brows tightly, not relaxing for a moment. The usually quiet man squeezed out a kind word to comfort me. "No one dies from leaving someone, Irene, you'll get better and better." "Yes. Irene, we must live better and better, kick that shameless scum to the west." Looking at them, I felt warmth in my heart. Thinking about the wasted years, perhaps my own reluctance to let go was part of the reason. There are so many people, I'm not lacking, why cling to a rotten person? I nodded with a smile, yes, from now on, I'll live only for myself." Nina raised her glass, standing and shouting, "To Irene's rebirth from the ashes, cheers! Cheers! Cheers!" Since cracks appeared in my marriage with Ethan, I hadn't been as happy as now. After regaining my spirits, I started looking for work in the town. Staying home all day rocking in the chair and sunbathing made me listless, better to find something to do to make time more meaningful. "Irene, are you looking for work now?" I nodded, "Can't stay idle." "Go ask Lucas." Nina winked at me. Seeing her comical expression, I couldn't help laughing. "Sister Nina, what's that face?" "Irene, if I weren't in barbecue, I'd have you work with me. Our shop goes late every day, your healthy lifestyle probably couldn't handle it. But Lucas's flower shop is different." Nina's animated expression was truly amusing. I raised an eyebrow. "How different?" "He's a big man, heavy lifting wouldn't fall to a woman, right?" Also, the flower shop's hours are more normal, fitting your schedule. Finally, you grow flowers yourself, perfect match, isn't it? Tell me, isn't this the most suitable? Indeed logical. I nodded but hesitated. Does he need help? No, we're neighbors, you're new, it's only right for him to look after you. Okay, I'll think about it back home. Don't think. Just go. But before I could find Lucas, he came to me himself. Perhaps he'd just done heavy work, everyone wore coats, but he wore only a black tank top. Beads of sweat dripped along his sharp jawline to his collarbone, exhaled breath steaming white, his robust body seeming to radiate heat. This guy's in great shape. I heard from Sister Nina you're looking for work, want to help at my shop. Just watch the store when I'm away, collect money sometimes. So easy? How's the pay? Lucas gestured a 6. I widened my eyes. 600? That's a bit low. 6,000. I was even more shocked. That much? You don't need to pity me because of my past. Not pitying you. The tall man suddenly turned away, his wheat-colored skin flushing suspiciously red. You deserve it. The surrounding air suddenly turned pink. I wasn't an ignorant girl anymore. I guessed Lucas's intentions about 70 to 80%. He seemed to realize his words were inappropriate. I jest. Lucas, thank you, but I need to resolve my troubles first before considering such things. Sorry. No. He lowered his head, murmuring softly, sorry, Irene, I was too presumptuous. But I'm still willing to help at the shop. Lucas suddenly looked up at me, his tiger-like eyes shining, but not such high pay, I feel undeserving. Okay, all up to you, just glad you're coming. Seeing Lucas's honest smile and thinking of enthusiastic Nina, I realized that after leaving Ethan, there was no rain outside at all. 2 months later, Ethan found himself still on my blacklist and couldn't sit still. He returned to that house. He hadn't been there for a long time. But upon opening the door, he froze, incredulously looking at everything inside. Ethan slowly walked in, the air carried a dusty smell of long uninhabitation, everything covered in thick dust. Everything told him I'd moved out long ago. Looking at this strange yet familiar everything, Ethan suddenly felt his past with Irene crystal clear, familiar voices ringing in his ears. Irene, we finally have our own home. Irene, we'll be together forever, I'll give you a better life. 2 figures appeared before him, younger versions of himself and Irene. Their faces with sweet smiles and intimate embraces, and as resounding promises to Irene. Ethan suddenly felt a pang in his heart, he'd broken his word. What had he done these years? He continued walking, passing through the illusion, but the sweet memories of the past became clearer in his mind, condemning the current Ethan. He clearly remembered many photos of him and Irene in the living room. Some wedding photos were placed there too, why none now? Ethan's heart pounded, nearly unsteady on his feet. Suddenly, as if realizing something, he strode into the master bedroom. The photos must be there, they must. Didn't he know Irene? It must be because he rarely came home. Irene missed him too much without seeing him, so she put all photos in the bedroom to reminisce. But how much credibility these words had, only Ethan knew. Upon reaching the master bedroom, his belief collapsed. What did he see? He couldn't believe it, not even daring to step forward to check what that pile of shredded paper was. Unprecedented panic spread in Ethan's heart. No. No. It shouldn't be like this. He saw it, those were photo remnants. The divorce agreement, signed with Irene's name, lay quietly beside the fragments. A thick layer of dust silently desolate. His hand trembling, he picked up the agreement, only to see what was pressed beneath, obvious burn marks, most turned to ashes, but a few relatively intact fragments remained. Ethan widened his eyes, these were the love letters he'd written to Irene. His hand shook uncontrollably. Ethan, I'll keep these forever. When I'm old, I'll show them to our grandchildren, let them see how shameless their grandpa was in youth. Ha 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 ha. That'll be so fun. So what? Reserve won't win your sweetheart. Besides, not just young, when old I'll still write you love letters, write them for life, say I love you forever. Two joyful voices suddenly rang in his ears. Ethan's mouth tasted bitter, his nose sour beyond words. What had he done these years? Now, the only thing he wanted was to find Irene, apologize, make it up to her, and reconcile. He wanted to call Irene but suddenly remembered she'd blocked him. Ethan finally experienced that powerless feeling of not finding someone, heartbroken. Where's your sister-in-law now, do you know? At my place, Ethan, Sister Chloe is nurturing the fetus. Where else? Ethan's heart chilled further, gritting his teeth in a low roar. Who asked about Chloe, I mean Irene. How would I know where that sallow hag Irene is? Didn't you say Chloe is our sister-in-law? Ethan nearly fainted from anger, almost screaming, is that how you talk about your sister-in-law? And when did I say Chloe is your sister-in-law? Your actions. Usually, when we badmouth Irene, you never stop us. And I never liked Irene, from when you were dating, Sister Chloe is better. Before, you liked her, I couldn't say, now you don't like her, why can't I say? Emily said huffily. Ethan regretted more, from now on, don't say that about Irene, you have only one sister-in-law, that's Irene. Those close to Ethan didn't know where I was, because I'd blocked them too. And those who could contact me, knowing Ethan's messes, were unwilling to tell him my whereabouts. Claire was a friend we grew up with, witness to every stage of my relationship with Ethan. Ethan. VIP. Claire didn't even lift her eyelids, my small place can't accommodate a big Buddha like you. Claire, do you know where Irene is? Ethan ignored her disregard, thick-skinned asking. Claire suddenly threw the rag in her hand at Ethan's face. You have the nerve to look for Irene. What do you want with her? Haven't you hurt her enough? Get out. You're not welcome here. Ethan shook his head vigorously. No, I just want to compensate her, I know I was wrong. Claire, we grew up together, help me, please. Get out. Claire, thinking of the harm her friend suffered from this treacherous scum, was furious, wishing to hack him to death. What are you pretending remorse for now? Rotten cucumber, even dogs won't want. Before, Irene couldn't let go, I couldn't say, now she's determined to, how could I hold her back? Ethan wanted to defend himself, opened his mouth, but found no ground. Ethan, when cheating, why didn't you think of Irene? When holding others calling baby, why not? Now pretending what? Claire got angrier, rolling her eyes. Claire, you've scolded, can you tell me where Irene is? Can't understand? Get out. I won't tell. But I can say, Irene lives well anywhere without you, new job, new friends, happy daily. You're her jinx, get out quick. Ethan was chased out by Claire calling security, embarrassingly thrown to the ground by guards. Claire at the door, bah. Scum, get out. Her loud roar attracted passers-by. Ethan still wanted to pester Claire for my whereabouts, she shouted, everyone, come see. This scum is shameless. Cheated countless times, got mistress pregnant, shamelessly posted on Facebook bragging. His ex-wife is my friend. She's made way for his mistress, yet he clings, fearing she lives well. Judge. This scum is a listed company boss. How can people cooperate with him? Not afraid he'll cheat them out of everything. Seeing the growing crowd, some filming, Ethan wanted Claire to stop, but she slammed the door, leaving him to face public criticism. Since the company grew strong, Ethan was always flattered everywhere. When had he endured such discussion? He wanted to retort but found no reason, finally covering his face and slinking away. He still didn't give up searching for me. Finally, Ethan discovered a series of familiar jewelry at an online auction. They were all gifts from him to me, some carefully chosen, others perfunctory, anyway, I sold them all. Just like that, following this lead, Ethan found me. But I hadn't intended to hide, the wrongdoer wasn't me, nor the one to be backstabbed. Why hide? When Ethan found me, I was arranging flowers in Lucas's shop, chatting idly with him. The atmosphere was relaxed, even warm compared to the outside cold. The flower shop door was pushed open, Lucas and I in unison, "Welcome." "Irene. I finally found you." Hearing the familiar voice, my flower arranging paused, looking up, it was indeed Ethan. Similar yet not, eyes full of red veins, hair messy, shoulders snow-covered, unlike his previous refined elite look. I subconsciously frowned. Though muscular, Lucas wasn't brainless. He instantly saw the unusual atmosphere between me and the visitor. "Irene, I suddenly remember the flower pots outside aren't arranged. I'll check, you chat first." I nodded, "Okay." Another door close, the not small shop left with just Ethan and me. I said indifferently, "What are you here for?" "If it's divorce, have Claire tell me." Ethan looked deeply at me, not blinking, as if fearing I'd disappear if he did. This expression I often saw on old Ethan, easily captivating me. But now. "Don't you find this look ridiculous?" I was genuinely curious. "How?" "Willing to leave your two treasures to find me, truly flattered." Ethan's back bent, lips pale. "Irene, sorry, I really, know I was wrong." "You're my baby, stop. Don't disgust me with that. If not divorce, don't come, not welcome." Ethan stepped forward to grab me, but I dodged. He dejectedly dropped his hand. "Irene, listen, listen. I've made Chloe abort the child, I've cut ties with her, I regret, can you give me another chance?" Ethan looked cautiously at me, like when I begged him not to leave. My face colder. "Impossible." "Cut ties, so what? Still dirty? Still disgust me? Besides, why wait in place for you?" "Huh. Before, I was stubborn and stupid, now, I won't forgive, no chance." Ethan wanted to say more, but I directly to Lucas outside, "I'll help you move." Then, went out, no more glances at Ethan. Ethan hurried out, seeing my tacit coordination with Lucas, feeling sour, wanted to help, but Lucas grabbed his hand, pinning him. "Sir, if not buying flowers, please leave. I'm her husband." Lucas gripped harder, Ethan grimacing in pain. "What are you doing?" Lucas calmly released, "Sorry, hearing you're that scum, couldn't control." Ethan's first reaction, tattle to me, "Irene, look at him." I ignored, instead smiled at Lucas, "Thank you." Ethan incredulously looked, eyes full of hurt. "Irene," he squeezed my hand hard, almost crushing bones, "yet you thank him?" I calmly nodded, "Not to mention he didn't crush your bones, even if he did, I'd only thank him and applaud." Then, Lucas and I went back to the shop, ignoring Ethan. "Irene, you okay?" Lucas asked worriedly. "Fine. I've let go, someone like him isn't worth my love." "Good." Lucas relaxed, "If need help, tell me, don't tough it out." "Got it. You've helped a lot." I smiled at him. "Actually, not much." The man's face suspiciously reddened again. To avoid more embarrassment, I pretended not to see. Ethan started compensating as he said, "On his own." Next day, came to flower shop, bought all flowers at once. "Irene, you like flowers, I'll buy them all for you, okay?" Lucas's face darkened, fists clenching with creaks, arm veins bulging, seeming ready to punch anytime. Ethan looked human but dog-like, pretending deep affection somewhat deceptive. Standing at shop door, envying many passers-by. "Wow. This man handsome, rich, affectionate, girl so lucky." An old man chuckled. Others agreed. Ethan straightened from passers-by's words, eyes full of certainty I'd forgive. I smiled fakely, cheated, cold violence me, got mistress pregnant, posted maternity photos on Facebook, "Uncle, want this luck?" Uncle heard, "Ba ba ba." Ouch. "This isn't luck, it's bad luck." "Girl, don't mind," old man dim-eyed, said wrong. Others heard, immediately changed, too shameless? Now pretending bullshit affection? "Sister, don't repeat mistakes. Kick such scum." Ethan's smug face collapsed. "Irene, what are you saying? I've humbled myself, still embarrass me?" Ethan never truly repented, he was just used to me loving and revolving around him. He did this unwilling that I could truly abandon our experiences. His actions now were performance, selfishly demanding forgiveness. I cold-faced, what does that have to do with me? Ethan wanted more, but next second Lucas collared him out. Passing me, slightly bowed, don't worry, just taking him out. Before I could stop, they were gone, onlookers dispersed. Let go. As you wish. Ethan thrown staggering, embarrassingly steadied. You're not qualified to meddle in Irene and me. Don't overestimate, I have ways to shut your shop. Lucas tall, Ethan had to tilt up to eye him, Ethan disliked the feeling. You're the betrayer of your relationship with Irene, not qualified for forgiveness. As for your methods, try them. Lucas said, about to leave. Do you know how many years Irene and I were together? Lucas backed to him, didn't turn, body just stiffened. Seeing, Ethan felt pleased, tone lighter. 12 years. Together exactly 12. Not mentioning good years, even problematic ones she loved, tolerated me, did crazy things for me. Think she'd leave? Can she? Not to mention now fully compensating. She'll return to my arms. You won't have chance. Lucas still no turn, calmly, these words, listen yourself, no need say out, especially loud, makes me think you're panicked. Also, you wrong one point, Irene loved the old Ethan who sincerely loved her, but that's not you, current you unworthy. Finally, I like her, want together, but fully respect her. Whether I have chance not you decide, she does. Please don't come again, flowers not for sale to you, not welcome. Ethan stunned by Lucas, only recovered when man gone. Hard-built security crumbling, panic like endless cold wind scraping his heart, could it? No. Impossible. Anyone might leave, but not Irene. Ethan barely suppressed panic, thinking next, phone rang, special concern ringtone. Hello? What? Bro, Sister Chloe's stomach uncomfortable, what to do? Emily's urgency real, Ethan glanced, closed door, face flashed tangle, finally gritted, okay, coming back now. Irene, you worried me to death. Claire in my courtyard, hugging my arm fake crying, expression aggrieved. Good you gave up that scum, or disgusted to death by him. Claire full disdain, that mistress's belly already so big. She gestured large circle. Amused to tears and laughter by her, okay, don't think him, unworthy. I never believed Ethan's words about making Chloe abort. Irene, these years really wronged you. Claire's voice choked, but next second excited, but now happy is good. I nodded, yes, pretty happy now. Hee, this second spring quality. I knew Claire couldn't stay serious long, look muscles, build, okay, approve your romance. I quickly turned to Lucas 5 steps away fixing pipe, sure enough, face reddening. Claire. Ouch. Irene don't shy. Claire winked again. Lucas suddenly put down pliers, red-faced, I'll buy strawberries for you. He's shy? Claire curious, skin too thin. Your fault. I pinched her arm, reproaching. Ethan came again, eyes sparkling, tone cheerful. Irene, settled. Completely broke with Chloe, child aborted, come back with me okay? I fiddled phone, without thinking, no. Why? He raised volume, I've cut. Promise no more such mistakes, why no another chance? You love me, right? Ethan's expression manic and miserable, as if innocent. You want forgiveness so I forgive? What are you? I don't love you long ago, my love not your tool to manipulate. Also, really think me fool. Whether child aborted, you know. My only request, divorce, give me what's mine, that's all. Divorce? Why? To live happily with that flower seller? Irene. Ethan extremely agitated, finger pointing at Lucas trembling, face ferocious as if next second tear flesh from Lucas. Lucas about to speak, I directly held his hand. Yes. What? Ethan incredulous, what did you say? I like him a lot, unwilling to wrong him namelessly following. So, you make way for him. Ethan, fair, right? No, I don't believe. You're lying, right? Want me hurt, revenge, because you love me, I hurt you, the one you love is still me. Still me. Ethan stepped forward, arm to pull me in, but mid-air wrist pinched by Lucas, immobile. If can't understand words, don't mind teaching with fists. Ethan as if not hearing Lucas, eyes staring at me, Irene. I extremely impatient, Ethan, stop pretending affection okay? Really nauseating. Lucas, let's go, ignore him. I pulled Lucas turning away, Ethan dazed in place. He never thought I'd leave him, but now, I did. His heart ached in spasms. But he knew it was all his fault, almost obsessively wanted at any cost for me to forgive, reunite as if nothing happened. But next days I didn't see him, whenever came, Lucas blocked. His pampered life too long, couldn't beat Lucas, only rage impotently in place. That night, sudden heavy rain. Ethan came afternoon, but I ignored, let him stand. Evening, visiting Nina saw someone at courtyard gate. Irene, that scum still standing? Too unlucky, hot pot won't taste good. Nina always clear love-hate, betrayers deserve no pity. I nodded, indeed. Lucas holding rinsed mutton to my mouth, seemingly casually, seems raining outside. Then stared with tiger eyes at me. Ignore him. I bit big mouthful mutton, perfect temp, tender, juicy bursting, delicious. Lucas's mouth slightly curved, I didn't see Lucas's smile, but Nina did. Someone pretending nonchalant, ideas run from eyes. Lucas ignored Nina, just don't want Irene hurt again. Pretend. Keep. Pretending no wife. I immune to Nina's teasing, sis, eat. Indoor atmosphere naturally relaxed warm, but Ethan at gate felt chill head to toe, cold wanting death. Hearing inside laughter, wished to smash ears, so couldn't hear, wouldn't envy madly. No umbrella, but masochistically stood in rain, didn't believe I'd let him soak all night. Before, one sneeze, I'd nervously prepared ginger tea, rock sugar pear stew, millet porridge all. Now raining on him, I couldn't be indifferent. Ethan thought confidently. But doomed to disappoint. Not only no concern, I'd mock behind. Why not leave? Pretending pitiful. This guy's thick-skinned. Isn't it? Cheaters have thin skin? Irene, don't soften forgive. Naturally not, even if faints at door today, lazy to glance. Rented house has several guest rooms, no problem for two. Rain too heavy now, though near, inconvenient, rest here today. Nina agreed without hesitation, Lucas tangled a while, red-faced, okay, thanks Irene. Ethan waited, rain soaked him utterly, vision blurred, no one came out. Ethan gritted standing, as if competing with someone, even rain-blurred vision, eyes fixed on front light. Finally, lights dimmed, Ethan's spirit collapsed with them. Body crumbled down, consciousness into darkness, unconscious. Patient 11 awake. Ethan regaining consciousness first saw white. Though stranger female voice, heart unspeakably lost. But soon thought I sent him to hospital, felt better. She still cares. But next second beautiful fantasy shattered. Since awake, pay medical fees. Ethan opened eyes wide, how you? Lucas bedside, looking down, me, disappointed? Where's Irene? Ethan eagerly tried to get up. Heh. Die far if dying, not at Irene's door. If not feared trouble for her, wouldn't send you hospital. Yes, minutes after Ethan fainted, Lucas found, hurriedly sent to hospital, without alarming anyone. You want to steal Irene from me? Ethan gloomily, on what grounds? Together 12 years, we're one whole. You're not qualified to say that. I stood at door listening a while, Ethan's words more outrageous, finally interrupted. Lucas, go out first, I'll chat with him. Lucas worriedly looked long, reluctantly left. Irene, you worry about me right? Knew you couldn't bear. Irene, reconcile. Like before, okay? I'll love you well, no false words. This anniversary, how about North Pole Aurora? Or tropical rainforest adventure? I can. I coldly watched him babble, silent throughout. Ethan sensed wrong atmosphere, excited voice quieted, cautiously looking. Irene, what's wrong? Looking at his pale fearful face, I sighed, Ethan, I've let go. My only regret, not kicking you decisively after first cheat, instead humbly salvaging, suffering grievances. This is divorce agreement, signed my name, sign it quick, from now no relation. Ethan wanted to retreat, hide himself. Irene, hurts so much. You deserve it, past me more painful. Sign quick, or I don't mind lawsuit. My gaze firm, Ethan saw no trace of reluctance, this time truly heartbroken. I really, don't love him. I still urged, hurry. Ethan teared, tasting regret's bitter tears, but far less than heart's bitterness. Finally, trembling, penned his name on agreement. I'll transfer my half to your name too, compensation. I nodded indifferently, rest well. After I left, Ethan finally wailed, his fault, own hand lost his love, such end deserved. I regained single status. And Luke is pursuing me. Though looks rough big, actually steady and gentle. After confirming I truly loved him, not a substitute for previous bad relationship, I accepted him. As for Ethan, I didn't specially follow. But heard much from Claire. After divorce, decadent, often dead drunk. Daily mad, on road pointed as lunatic. And Chloe, knowing Ethan gave all property, even company to me, angered to premature birth, but child not saved. Claire told me Chloe awoke disheveled, pointing cursing Ethan how so selfish, leaving no money for her. Hearing this, no joy nor pity in heart, calm as still water, like other story. Ethan's end self-made, blame no one. And I, happy now, at least. Irene, mourning. Lucas apron setting breakfast, saw me pulled into arms kissed, kiss Irene. This cheek too. I habitually begged kiss. Lucas gently kissed pointed spot, eyes full tenderness, Irene so cute, love Irene. Beauty in this moment, happiness around heart. Wish we all happy forever.